What's up, y'all?
It's your girl, Nay.
And it's your boy, X.
And welcome back to
the X and A Show
No,
podcast.
it's the X and A podcast.
You told me it was the X and A Show.
But I switched it.
Yeah, because you knew you was wrong. Anyway, y'all, how y'all doing today?
We back.
We back and we better than ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's Monday. We just had a great weekend.
The kids are sleeping, y'all, so we are trying to crank this out.
Yeah, hopefully they stay asleep for a good 45 minutes because I want us to have a nice
little conversation. Why are you looking at the camera like that?
I don't know. Was that weird? For all the audio people, we're thinking about getting this on Spotify and all the other platforms. We used to do that back in the day, but
nobody was interested, really.
We had some viewers on there, but listeners. We had some listeners on there, but I don't know. Should we do it? Do you guys want this like audio form?
I would, because I think it's helpful for people who are on the go and who don't, have time to sit there and watch, or I guess if they don't want to watch and they just want to listen, then it's a good option.
That's true. When I was working a 9 to 5, I used to love my favorite content creators.
No, even when you was at home, you was listening to podcasts.
I'm a podcast dude. That's my thing. I love a 3-hour.
Actually, you know what? I did want to get into like listening to podcasts, but I'm not really sure what I would be interested in listening to. Just
find some people that like share like your similar interests. Like I listen to gaming stuff. I listen to
gaming stuff is boring because you be watching that at night and
yeah, you got to see what gaming news is out.
No,
I mean, do you like relationship type stuff? Motivational?
I feel like I like motherhood, relationship, or like stuff like that. Like I don't know.
I guarantee you there's a podcast for you. There's podcasts for anybody.
If y'all have any other favorite podcast recommendations, please let us know down below.
Yeah, let me know.
Okay, wait, side note. I seen this trend going around on TikTok where you set your phone up and you're like trying not to say any filler words like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And people have been struggling. Like they'll put the camera up and they're like, so today we're going to try no filler word. But you got to talk slower in order for that to happen.
Yep.
But I want to try it, but I feel like, I might struggle.
I feel like for people who like know how I speak, it would just sound weird because you're expecting that cadence.
But I feel like you already talk very well.
I mean, but I still have filler. Like
I don't be okay. Fair enough. I feel like most people do, but they say it helps your vocabulary when you eliminate the filler words.
That's true. And some people, they have it really bad to a point where sometimes I can just like not get it out of my head. Like I'm just hyper fixated on the fact that you always say like, or you always say But somebody
suggested listening to that one guy you listen to. Oh, what is his name? His voice is so annoying to me.
Is it annoying?
I don't know. What was his
Jordan
name?
Peterson?
Was it him? It might be him or somebody else.
So today our gentleman.
No, it's the guy that be like doing speeches and stuff. Like I don't know.
Ben Shapiro?
No.
I mean, I don't listen to them, but those are people. Jordan Peterson? It
might be him, but I feel like it's not him. It's another guy. I have his like face in my head. It's a white man.
It's a white dude?
Yeah.
What does he talk about?
I don't even know what he be talking about. He just was talking about random stuff and
it's like motivational?
Yeah.
It's probably, the only word I can think of is Jordan Peterson.
It's probably him.
Wait,
let me look him up.
He's a clinical psychiatrist, so like I like to listen to people who have a perspective on the mind. And,
yes, that guy is him. Yeah. Okay.
So the proclivity of an individual who is working hard to become his best self, you must aim upward. That guy.
Oh my God.
Yes, he has some good. I mean, I like the way he approaches speech, and it's very self-evident that that's what he tries to do. It's like,
you know what, and it makes me think back to the time where I think I was a junior in high school, and I moved back from Korea, and I took a speech class. And in the speech class, we had to give a speech. It was literally maybe like a 2-minute speech. I was stressed. I was sweating in my armpits. I was all clammy. Like when I get nervous.
You're a sweater too.
I get like sweaty, clammy. And like I want to say that was like my 4th period class. So it wasn't something that I could just get done right in the morning. Like, I'm sitting here thinking about it and oh Lord, it went okay. But I was stressed. I was like, please never have me do a speech ever again.
Oh, Nay's so cute when she gets stressed out and like she's overstimulated because I could just look at her armpits and they're just like drenched.
Stop!
And I'm like, oh, look at my baby. She's stressed out.
Like even y'all, sometimes when he like looks at me, like how he's looking at me is making me nervous.
You like that?
Why am I nervous with this man? I've been married to him.
I feel like
a long time.
I feel like it's my eyes. Like I have I always tell people my eyes are older than my body because I feel like I've just seen so much. Like even though I'm 30 years old, I wouldn't consider myself super young anymore. But I think that, I feel
like you've seen a lot than most have. Yeah, definitely more than what I've seen.
I mean,
I feel like you made me feel like a little plush toy or something. Like I haven't seen much. You know?
Mean, you've seen stuff, but the thing is, perspective is relative, right? So like, your experience is gonna suit your emotions, and there's always gonna be a max and a min for how you feel about something based on what you've been through.
Valid.
For me, I've seen the ugliest of the ugly. I've seen the beautiful of the beautiful. That's why I'm always kind of like in between. And I think that you can't undermine other people's experiences just because you feel like you've been through more. Because it's all relative to that person. So like people may think that, oh, we have this plush, easy lifestyle. We have, everything, just here for us. And maybe we got it easier. Maybe we had help. Who knows? But a lot of people don't know, like, my childhood. A lot of people don't know your childhood, the things that haunt us, death, some people never really, some people never seen it, and I've been there, I've seen it, and it grew me up to the person I am today. So that's why whenever somebody's like telling me, hey, bro, this is going on in my life, I don't ever try to minimize their situation because that may be the worst that they've ever experienced. And when your mind is like, hey,
it's like everybody's is different, Like exactly. I feel like some of the stuff that I've experienced in my childhood, you've never experienced. And then vice versa. Like I haven't been through anything that you've been through. So I think it's important, like you said, to give everybody grace and, know that everybody's experience is different. Nobody's experience is going to be the exact same as another person, but
I think it's also important too that you shouldn't be trying to compete when it comes to trauma.
It's not a competition.
Because you don't want to be that person where, let's say your friend is coming to you and it's like, hey man, look, I've been going through it. This is really bothering me. And then instead of you being there for that person, you're like, well, that ain't really all that much. I remember when I had to go through X, Y, and Z. And they like you turn it to a situation where it's about you, not about the person. You're like belittling
them. You know what I mean? And making them feel like their experience is not a valid experience.
Or it's just they're acting like a little bitch. You know what I mean? Like
not you using the vulgar language. I'm just kidding.
Bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I try not to use those words, but at the same time, I feel like speech is important because when you use diction properly, and diction just means word choice. When you choose words appropriately and effectively, they hit harder. So whenever I say a curse word, I feel like people feel it more because I don't curse all the time. And I want those words to mean something. That's why I don't just say stuff just to say stuff.
I'm definitely the potty mouth between the two of us.
I don't think people really know that either.
Y'all may think that I'm not a potty mouth, but I'm telling you, whoa, my God, I'm working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it because we got these kids and we need these kids to go to school and behave and not get sent home because they done cursed out the teachers. Mari, she be...
Don't say that, mommy.
Yeah, she the speech police now. I'm glad.
But I'm glad she's like that. I'm glad she understands that. I tell her mommy's working on it every day.
But I guess to all the people who may be going through something, I really do think it's important that you truly, truly take a step back and give yourself some time, give yourself some grace. Because I know when you're going through a situation, you feel like everybody's just living their best life and you're just kind of in the sunken place, and I remember there have been times where you've had, a bad month. And I say a bad month is like you kind of dwelling on things of the past and, different traumas. And I think for me, I just wanted to be there for you, but I wanted to let you know that you taking the time that you need to be the best version of you was not wasting time. Because I remember when she would have a bad day and I'd be like, oh, what you got planned for the day? And in her mind, she's thinking, oh, he's only asking me this because
he's calling me lazy. I need to do something.
Right. And that's not the case at all. Really, I'm just interested in what you had planned for the day. So once I realized that that's how she was taking it, I made sure I made it very apparent that I'm not asking you this because I want you to do something. I'm asking you this because I truly want to know. And if you're not going to do anything but, kind of bask in, your emotions, that's totally fine. I think that people have this stigma that whenever you're going through anything at all, you have to put the pedal to the metal. You have to block everything out. You have to continue to work
for a minute, you know?
Yeah, sometimes you really need to just sit in those emotions and make sure that you are okay with what has transpired. That's the only way that you can move forward.
But I feel like that's another reason why it's significantly important to be able to communicate with your partner. Like, he knows everything about my life, like from beginning to now. So I feel like it's just really important to have a partner that understands that, you know what I mean? And they know how to be there for you whenever you're in those times.
Yeah. And I think as you get older too, it becomes more difficult because your personality could be just very different, right? So growing up, you had more of like of a people pleasing personality, right? And because of that, sometimes you allow people to have too much access to you or, you know, whatever the situation may be.
I was very bad with that before. And that's honestly still something that I'm working on. But I feel like I just have this guilt. For example, like, you know, if people are DMing me, and I get a million questions about my hair all the time, and I can try to respond to most of them, but I do have a life outside of content and I do have a family. So I do the best that I can, but I always just feel like some type of guilt, you know, for like not responding to people. But yeah.
No, and I think that that's a natural thing, but I think some people have a hard time prioritizing them. And I think that some people who have that issue, they think that if they're prioritizing them at the, you know, kind of stake of someone else's emotions, then, you know, they're being rude, right? Like if I tell somebody, hey, I don't want to go out tonight because, you know, I want to do something else.
Like,
right?
I will feel so bad just for saying that.
Right. And I got to a point where this was really in college because we would go out every freaking day. Like, well, at least, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I was an athlete, so there was always something to do. But you just get to a point where you realize, hey, like these environments really aren't for me. And maybe every so often I'll enjoy going out, but I don't want to keep pretending that I'm this person that I'm really not just because all the boys are going out. Like I'm cool chilling at the house, watching a little anime. You know,
I do agree
nothing.
with that, but I feel like sometimes with friendships to maintain them, sometimes you do have to say yes, even when you don't want to go. Because there's been times where like, you know, I don't feel like doing something with my friends. And I'm like, if I keep telling them no, it gets to a point where I will not be invited. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, I'm like both sided, you know?
But that's not, I mean, I get that. But at the same time, being a good friend doesn't always mean that, you know, you can't say no. Like there's a balance.
No, you
right?
can still say no. I agree.
There's
but
a balance
it just gets to a point. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, your friends generally aren't supposed to put you in environments that you don't like to be in anyway. So if your friends are going to be inviting you to stuff, then they should know the type of place that you like to go and place that you don't. If they're not really your friends or you're just meeting them or something, then I can see it being different.
Valid.
But all my friends know what I like to do and what I don't like to do. So I don't get invited to the club, and I'm perfectly fine with that. You know, I may get invited to the gun range. I may get invited to, you know, a card convention.
A birthday dinner.
I may get invited, birthday dinner, movies, whatever, something like that, an activity. But I feel like as long as you're transparent with the people that you talk to.
I feel like my friends know me fairly well too. Like they know what I will do and what I won't do. So I feel like, you know.
Yeah.
But that's why it's important to have friends that know you. So
so that you don't feel like this anxiety of like, dang, if I say no, then they really not going to rock with me. But if I say yes and I really don't want to go. And at a certain point, when you're a content creator and people start to know you, it's more about safety than anything. Because I don't like to go places where I feel like my safety isn't, you know, the best.
Right. But, well, I will agree. I mean, I have most of my friends, I will say, are content creators. So we're all very understanding of that. But I do have a couple that aren't. And that's just something that I explain to them. Like, you know, I don't mean no harm, but, you know, I have to look out for my best interest and my safety. Because at the end of the day, my safety is my priority, or my family safety is my priority, you know?
Exactly.
And nobody's going to care about you like your spouse cares about you, or, you know, vice versa. And two, if I'm invited somewhere with somebody and they don't know that, you know what I mean? Like my husband can't be there to protect me. So I'm on my own. So, yeah.
Yeah. What would you say, like, post content, like in this era now where we're, I guess, considered content creators, we have a support system. What era would you say is the easiest to make friends? In this era, or like in your childhood era, maybe your early adulthood? Do you think that making friends now is a lot easier than it was back then?
I feel like honestly and truly before content, but like right after high school. Like kind of college, but not really college, because you know I was in and out of college. I feel like childhood, I was a social butterfly, so it wasn't easy for me to make friends per se, but I didn't have the best discernment in knowing who was a good friend to me. And I will say over time that got better. Like now I feel like I'm pretty good at discerning who's good and, you know, whatnot. But I feel like doing content, and in my head, I don't have followers. You know what I mean? When I check out from posting content, like in my head, I'm a regular person. So I feel like most times I usually want to be inviting of people, but there's also just like this small, you know, thing that's in the back of my head. Like, you know, you have to be careful. It's not saying that everybody has ill intention, but you know, sometimes people only want to be your friend because of your following or because of who you know. It's just like so many things, you know what I mean? So I feel like now it's kind of hard for me to dissect, like, I guess, true, genuine intentions when it comes to friendships, if it's somebody that doesn't do content. But if it's somebody that does do content, I feel like I'm pretty cool, you know? My thing is, for example, like Haley, me and her both do content. We post similar-ish content, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not worried about her, you know, trying to like stab me in my back or anything like that. Like, I have a lot to lose because I have a platform, and most people who don't have a platform don't understand that.
Right. No, I can agree. I think that when it comes to friendships, I've never been the type of guy that just like, oh, I need to go make some friends.
I was.
I've always been the type of guy where I'm an introvert, and I'm fine with that. Like, I enjoy my little nerd stuff. And if you like it too, then great. But I'm the type of person as well. Like, if you meet me in person, there is no ego, like, at all. Like, I'm literally...
This man would be ashy up in the Kroger with a wife beater on.
Yeah.
Like, no haircut. Ashy, toes curled over the sandals.
Yeah, that's me. And the thing is like, I don't want people to look at me in a way that's like bigger than what I am. And when you meet people and you've been like doing content for a while,
7 years,
I think it's a blessing that some people are like kind of like just amazed and they admire you. But when it comes to like making friends, I think friends takes a lot longer nowadays, just because we've been in situations where people have like they haven't had our best interests, right? And I think that for me, safety is always my biggest concern. Like, I wouldn't want to befriend somebody who didn't have my best interests, who didn't have my wife's best interests. Because let's say we go out somewhere and, you know, this guy low key just wants to be around me because of everything else that comes with being, you know, with somebody who has some social media notoriety. Who knows what that person could be capable of? You could spike my drink, you know.
Or you could have somebody there that knows you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know
anything at all. That's why it takes me a while to allow people into my circle, because I know that I have so much to lose, and it's not worth me rushing into anything. But I do treat everybody very well. I treat everybody very fairly. I'm a Southern guy, so like when I do meet people, you get a sense of that Southern hospitality. Like, I will
sometimes he be talking too much. I'll be like, all right.
Like, I will look at, and you can talk to people like who actually have met me. I've had 30-minute conversations with people in Walmart, in, you know, random places, in Target. Hey, do I know you from somewhere? Well, maybe you see me on social media. I'll send them, you know, or show them like, maybe I have seen you. And then we just have a conversation. All of a sudden we're friends. And although they're not coming over to my house, it's like there's a potential that could grow from something. In the past, before content, you know, there wouldn't have been a reason to come up to me. You know what I mean? Like, so you just have to have that discernment, because at the end of the day, I mean, your kids are the priority. You know, the wife is the priority. So if I let somebody in who really shouldn't be in, they could do a lot of harm. So
but to be truthful too, I just really enjoy spending time with you and with my kids. Like having kids has made me realize time really does move fast. You know what I mean? So they're only going to be this little for so long. But I still be telling my friends yes. Like I have a couple friends that I see regularly every week. And, we both have our own families, but we always come together, have a little hangout sesh.
I think what's like good about our relationship is that although we're husband and wife, we're still best friends. You know what I mean? So like we never feel like
I'm your best friend.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, especially whenever the kids are gone.
I love when you say that.
It's like we love to be around each other. And when we're not around each other, it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Like obviously you go and have fun with your friends, right?
But we always be texting each other. When you come home, I miss you.
I mean, I don't say when you coming home. I would like for you to be home. No,
I'm saying you don't go nowhere though. Like I always tell him to go out with his.
I go somewhere sometimes.
Once a quarter.
I mean, that's fine. That's going out.
But I think one thing too that like for me back then, my dad was in the military, so I never had like a stable childhood friend group. So I feel like as an adult, I was chasing these friendships for so long just because I wanted, I wanted to have somebody I could say, oh yeah, this is my best friend, But I feel like for me, you can even give your opinion. I feel like it got to a point where like it was unhealthy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like I feel like I was just chasing something so bad that it wasn't unhealthy. But, God removes and he replaces. So that's a blessing.
I think for you just had this idea of what a best friend was like based on what you saw from like other people, like what you saw on TV and stuff like that.
Like I feel like I'm supposed to be at your house every day. We supposed to be doing makeup. We supposed to be chopping it up. Like,
and like I tell her, I think that when it comes to friends, you have to know what each friend is good at and where they're not good at. And you have to accept that, because if you don't, then you will have expectations of that person that's unrealistic. And maybe that person will grow and they will be able to, suffice more than what they've been doing. But for you to already have the expectation and they have not proven that they can be that way. That's why I'm like, okay, I have certain friends that, I would do this with, and I have certain friends that I'll do that with, but I would not expect
something that was talking about like some people hold friendships to like the tier of a relationship. You're wanting your friend to do everything that, you know what I mean? I'm not like that, but I think some people are like that. Like they're holding people to a high standard that you would hold somebody that you're in a relationship with. You know what I mean? Like you have to understand that people have their own lives.
I also think too, there's a lot of jealousy that goes on in friendships that, that shouldn't exist. I feel like.
But do you feel like jealousy in friendships is bad?
Yes.
Or
like jealousy.
I'm not saying jealousy is envy. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's something to admire in all of your friendships.
Right. There's admiration. But when it becomes jealousy, that's when there's a problem. Because at that point, you're not looking for that. You're not looking out for that person's best interest. You're looking out for that person to fail so that you can be better than. That's what jealousy is to me. It's like if I admire you, that means that there's something about you that I want to become more like. Maybe you speak well. Or maybe, you're very good financially, or whatever the case may be. I admire that about you. I want to aspire to be like that. But jealousy is when you take that admiration and you say, you know what? You don't deserve whatever you have. Like there's a reason why you have it and you didn't deserve it. And I'm hoping that in the future, you no longer have that, because in my head, you didn't earn it the right way.
Yeah.
And maybe I feel like I have, the qualities to do what you're doing or to have what you have, but it hasn't worked out for me because of reasons that aren't my own. So that's why, like, in the content space, it's very hard to find genuine friends, because I feel like there's a thin line between admiration, envy, and jealousy. And I don't like to be at competition with anybody. The only person I'm competing with is myself every day. And I have a schedule. I have different things I'm looking to do. And if I don't complete all those things, I'm not killing myself over it. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, Xavier, you didn't work as hard as you should have today. All right, tomorrow we need to make sure that we on point. That's why, like, I'm so kind of stickler about, you in the gym and me in the gym and stuff like that, because
it's like a routine.
All of that really, culminates into the person that you're trying to be.
I agree.
Want to talk to him about your workouts?
Hell no.
Why not? Y'all, she getting cheeked up for me.
No.
What you got today? You got glutes today? You got glutes every day.
I guess.
We gonna do some hip thrusts.
Xavier.
I don't know, y'all. I think I'm more excited about her in the gym than her being excited for her being in the gym.
I will say I'm excited about the gym this time around because, you know, running track and playing basketball back then, like my body shape was not my concern. You know what I mean? Like I was just working out because I had to work out, you know? But I feel like now as a mom and like, you know, I don't have like a body goal that I'm trying to get to. I just want to be my best version. But I will say I'm just curious to see how it's all going to work.
Yeah, I think that you're going to surprise yourself because she already has some cheeks now.
I'm trying to be beating them, like, the BBL allegations.
Look, y'all, she didn't have anything. Like I could bring up some videos.
Okay, so this is my problem with him. You had me out here looking like that and you did not even tell me.
Look, I loved you. I still love you. But now that the cheeks is cheeking, I'm like, bro, this is like some new game plus. This is like some goddamn.
You just unlocked a new character.
Shoot, I'm gonna just roll with it. Like,
oh my God.
Because this has been about 2.5 months of consistently inconsistent work in the gym because we had like weeks off.
I feel like it just be difficult sometimes when you have kids. Like sometimes if I'm having a long day and I'm overstimulated, like I'm not gonna lie to you, the last thing that's on my mind is the gym. Even though I know it might make me feel better, I'm just like, nah, it's too much going up here, it's too much going around here. We'll try again tomorrow. But I will say this is the most consistent I have ever been since we've been together. I will say that.
And she be in the mirror like doing this with her, like, you see it? You see it? I'll be like, yeah, let me touch it. What's good with you? She be like, what? She was trying to tell that she don't like it, but she know she like it.
I do.
You do? Oh, not too much because we on the podcast right now. But yeah, we had went to GNC the other day. We actually saw a supporter. Supporter came in when we was in there because she wanted to try pre-workout for the first time. She had never tried
crazy
one.
about it.
You didn't like it?
It's cool, but
you want to take one after this?
I don't know, like I don't know.
Well, it had you too amped up?
I don't know, like I don't know. I might have to try it a few more times before I have a set opinion on it.
Yeah, try it again today because we gonna get it in after this podcast. We got hip thrusts, we got sumo squats.
I don't know what it is, but it's just something about working out with your partner. I'd be ready to knock you head.
I be motivating you.
You be getting on my nerves. Like you was pissing me off the other day for real.
She be trying to kick me out the gym. I'm like, yo, look, I'm here for
trying to tell me
inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to slow down on them reps. You got to squeeze at the top. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure that you getting everything out of that. You got to isolate that glute. You know what I'm saying? We ain't out here just. And mind you, I'm D1 athlete. You know what I'm saying?
I was D3.
I'm D1 through and through. So I know how to get it right. And the thing is, for years, you know, we talked about working out and fitness and stuff like that. But she didn't want to listen to your boy.
I wanted to do my own thing because I thought
you wanted to do your own thing that wasn't gonna work. My bad. Go ahead.
Don't piss me off.
what was you trying to do?
I lost my train of thought.
You'd be downloading these random apps of these females with BBLs who pretending that they just got it out the mud.
Because
knowing they got it off the operating table.
Anyway, sir.
She'd be on her phone, like looking at the app. Okay, the video says I got 7 of these. I'm like, bro, if you don't go get under that barbell and squeeze them cheeks, like, what are you doing?
This is not about my fitness. Why are we talking about my fitness?
I'm just saying, like, I'm just excited. You know, we got to work out today. Got the haircut earlier. I think I have flat hair though because I was laying on the bed. But
it looks even though.
Looks even.
Because I did blow dry it.
We also got a new comforter, which is great because we've been using the same comforter.
We had the same comforter since we met each other. It was one I think my grandma got us. And it was a nice quality comforter that wasn't like super, super hot. And I feel like everything that we kept trying in between either felt too cheap or it was too hot or too thin. But I found the brand and they had restocked on the color that looks nice for our room. So I ordered 2 of them because I didn't know if we was going to see it again.
How much you think an old comforter probably worth? Like, how much you think somebody will pay for that?
Boy.
Unwashed.
Oh, my God.
There's a lot of history in that comforter.
Yeah.
I don't think I can.
But that's a quality comforter, though, because I want to say originally it was like $500 comforter.
Yeah.
And the same with the one we just got, but I had found it for $170.
We tried for so long to find a comforter.
Can you not pick your feet while you're just...
I got a long toenail. Look how long that thing is. Can you cut it?
I asked you to, and
look
you
how
told me
ashy
no.
my feet are. Jeez Louise. How come this pinky
We are
toe...
not talking about your toe.
All right. But yeah, we've been looking for a comforter for so long, and I feel like we spent maybe close to $1,000 over the years trying to find something
that was just like that.
Because it's a queen. The one that we had was a queen.
We've been using a queen with the king.
Yeah.
But now we got a king.
And it feels pretty good. I got to give it, some time.
You got to let it wear.
I got to sleep in it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to do a few activities in it. We're going to see, what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Because I need that airflow. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that everything's all good. But if it passed the test, we did buy 2 of them because
they be going out of stock. And then they only do certain colors. And don't get me wrong, the other colors that they have are cool, but they get very old, like back in the day grandma.
I gotta check y'all too, because some of y'all be thinking nasty too by activity. I was thinking about watching movies with popcorn. I wasn't thinking about anything else. So yeah, you the nasty one. They the nasty ones, not me. But yeah, if y'all interested, how old is that comforter that queen size?
Nobody is getting that.
Was it like 6 years old?
7.
7? It got a few holes in it. But the thing is, it just feels so good. It's like very airy.
We was fighting for our lives with that comforter. Like I would pull it, he would pull it, then sometimes our kids in the middle and
But now we finally got a king size one from the same brand. I hope that it works out. And if it does work out, just know that I'll post the listing. And
my God.
We'll bid from there. We'll probably start the bid off at like $20. It's probably worth way more than that, huh?
Ain't nobody getting that comforter.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's gonna be in our next homes museum. The first X&A comforter. Gifted to us by your grandma.
What else are we finna talk about, sir?
So I mean the podcast. I mean we're doing
No, you said you wanted to talk something about God.
Oh, no, I was going to talk about how we got closer, through our faith and like.
'Cause you over here talking about your toes.
I'm sorry.
About comforter,
sometimes I just go off the rails. I know we have topics, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I may have ADHD or something.
I definitely think I do.
But yeah, we've been really focused on trying to better ourselves. We've been listening to the word. One of my favorite people that I've been listening to recently is Ryan Leak. You can look him up on Instagram, on YouTube. But what I like about how he goes about, preaching and just conversations is he doesn't come across as overly preachy. Mm-hmm. He comes across as somebody who's understanding of our social climate. He wants to have conversations. He wants you to think about things. And then he ties in the word where it makes sense. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where it clicks most for me. Because he said something that stuck to me. And I sent it to you, where he's basically talking about how life is difficult, regardless of what choices you make. For example, if you want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work out, that's hard. But what's also hard is being overweight, obese, and fighting for your life because you haven't made the appropriate decisions. Mm-hmm. He's also saying what's hard is budgeting, right? It's hard to budget, but at the same time, it's hard to live a life of debt and not knowing when your next, meal could come from because you overspent or whatever. So for me, I like when I'm able to take the word, plus also take, things that are relevant in life, tie them together and try to aim as high upward as I can aim. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think that helps me. What about you?
I agree. I feel like for me, I didn't grow up in a churchy family, I would say. My great grandma went to church. My grandma and mom did go to church, every now and then, but it wasn't something that was every Sunday we in church, we get into the word. So I feel like a lot of times for me, I didn't feel like I actually had a connection with God. And I feel like I don't really like speaking about it because it always makes me feel like I'm the oddball. But I feel like I never really genuinely had a relationship growing up with God, and growing up, going through different traumatic situations, I feel like I had the tendency to question him every single time something happened, because it just felt like, bam, 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 bam. I'm like, okay, dang, when am I gonna get a break? So I feel like after meeting you and obviously having kids, I really wanted to prioritize that in our marriage. in our household, I want our kids, to know the word of God. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I don't really know much about the Bible, but I am learning and I'm working on it every day. But, I just feel like if I was able back then to apply a lot of, what scripture says into my life, it probably would have helped me back then. I told y'all I think I told them on the last podcast, or I told y'all somewhere, maybe it was one of my videos, that I was somebody who's dealt with depression and anxiety throughout my childhood for, stuff that I've been through. But, I just feel like knowing the word of God and really just applying it to your life makes all of the difference. Like going through postpartum with Amari, I wasn't really big into reading scripture, and I'm not gonna lie to you, that wasn't something that was on my mind. But after having Pootie, I had postpartum depression again, and I feel like when I started really just diving back into the word and, applying it in our lives every day, I feel like I started feeling like, like more lighter, and like the cloud is like lifting off of my shoulder. I don't feel as depressed as I did before. I still have some anxiety, but I know that that's something that takes time. It doesn't just go away immediately. But yeah.
No, that's great. And to me, like I like to apply the things as much as I can. So like, I challenge, us. I was like, whenever we're talking about anybody to someone else, it's only positive things, never a negative thing, even if it's a joke. Not holding grudges, because grudges and bitterness will affect you physically and not just mentally as well. It's actually, it actually will rewire your brain if you think a certain way that's negative over an extended period of time.
But I feel like too, that's why I'm a firm believer that God puts people in your life when you need them. Like I have a friend, and since we've been together, we've been trying to get closer to God. I would say she's had a relationship with God before, but we were, doing Bible study together or just watching the word on Sunday together and really trying to dive in the word of God. And she's very reassuring what they got going on outside. But she's been really reassuring and, like letting me know the God, devils and demons show up in various ways. You know what I mean? Like it can show up in your family, it can show up in your friends. It doesn't have a disguise. So,
it
can have a disguise. But I don't know. I'm just really.
It's not always just straightforward.
Yeah.
And if you guys see me looking over here this way,
that's the baby monitor.
Yeah, the baby monitor.
That's why I just keep turning my head every 5 seconds.
I'm sorry if I had to pause. I just make sure everything was good. But yeah, I think that for us, it's really helped. I've always been a spiritual person. In college, I read the Bible, and I learned about it, and it was more of like, I just want to make sure I understand what's going on there, so I can decide how I want to live my life. But I think that if you just try to be the best person that you can be and remove yourself from environments that aren't going to help you do that, then things are only going to get better. And you have to have the right mindset, because if you don't, then you can end up living a life that's not really reality. And that's what anxiety is. It's when you are already having emotions for something that hasn't happened yet. So like if you're fearful,
it's like you're not trusting God's word. You know what I mean?
You're not living in the present. You're already having the emotions of something that hasn't happened, something that you're fearful of happening, that could happen. But why am I already scared? Why am I already sad? And it's almost like for me, when we decided that I was gonna, go full-time content, the anxiety I had was, okay, well, what if, content doesn't work out and, then we're struggling for money or whatever. That's anxiety that's induced by a fear of the future that has not happened. And the likelihood that would happen is, although it's not zero, there are so many opportunities that we've given ourselves. I mean, like you said in the last podcast, you have a master's degree. I have a bachelor's degree. I have 8-9 years of experience in corporate America. I can always go get another job. You know what I mean? So the fact that I was scared to make a move because the fear that I would potentially be in a situation that was less ideal than what I wanted. To me, that's not a healthy thing if it holds you back. Now, obviously, you should be able to, have these feelings for things in order to protect you, right? Like these feelings should exist. You should have a little bit of anxiety about different things because that's how human beings protect themselves from potential dangers, right? But when it's to the point where it's so damaging, you can't even be the person that you were designed to be, that God wants you to be, because you won't let go of something that really truly isn't for you anymore. So I don't know. I always try to tell you that, you know, when it comes to depression, anxiety, you know, you have to take it one step at a time, but it's a fight that you're always going to be fighting. And just like when you lose someone, you don't automatically just get better. You just learn to live with it, and you learn how to take the good things and be truly grateful for them. And you just live life differently. You know what I mean? You don't let that hold you back. You turn that doubt into motivation. You turn, you know, all that negativity into some form of positivity. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is depression. The alternative is a life of doubt, a life of, you know, of hopelessness. And that's not what I think anybody should aim for.
Yep. I've never been baptized, y'all. I think that's something that I want to do. I know that's something that I want to do, but I've just been trying to figure out the best place to go about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just, you know. But anyways, y'all.
I think that when the time is right, it will happen. And that's a voice crack. And I think that because you've already made the decision that you would like to be baptized, then you've already told God, hey, I want to live a life that's obedient to you. And I remember when I got baptized, I think I was like 12 years old. Looking back, I wish I would have gotten baptized as an adult because...
So you could really understand the meaning?
Well, I think that as a kid, you just kind of do what your parents think is best, right? And I think it takes some time to like go through some things to really test how you feel about religion, right? And the world is a very scary, dark place, and it's constant suffering. There's always, like I always tell people, I'm always preparing for the next tragedy. That's what I'm doing mentally. That's what I'm, you know, trying to build myself up for, because there's going to become a point in time where I'm going to have to be the person that people lean on because times are just that hard. And if I didn't build myself up enough, then who knows, the family could collapse. You know, you got to have those people in the family that can, you know, be ready to bear that. And I think that as I've grown and I've learned and I've gone through hard things, it would mean a bit more to get baptized after all of that struggle. And you say, know what, I'm still here with you because I know that you're still here with me. You know what I mean? So I don't think I'm going to go get rebaptized because I've been baptized, but I think that it's normal for people to constantly, you know, feel that they are recommitting to the word of God, recommitting to Jesus Christ. And it may not be like, oh, I totally just said, you know, I'm not going to follow Jesus or whatever, I'm going to be this bad person. But I think that every so often things may get so heavy that you just start to doubt a little bit. Like, it's never going to get better for me. Like, it's always going to just be bad. And God has the ability to get me out of this, but I'm still here. And I know that through experience that God will make a way, and you just always have to be ready to serve.
I agree.
I didn't mean to be preachy on this, but at the end of the day, I hope that you guys get something out of the podcast. I know I talk about cheeks and stuff a lot, but at the end of the day,
anyways,
at the end of the night,
at the end of the day gotta end.
At the end of the week,
I think something I wanted to touch on too was like therapy, you know? So I've been looking into doing I think I'm leaning more towards EMDR therapy, but if y'all don't know what that is, basically it's a type of therapy where they're able to, I guess, you kind of relive the things that you've been through and rewire your brain at the same time so that, I guess, when you feel that anxiety that you felt in whatever the traumatic moment was, that it doesn't feel as severe as it does, it makes it just feel like it was something that just happened,
versus something that's constantly happening and eating at you.
Yeah.
So I think, based on what I've,
I don't fully understand it, but like what I'm getting from what I've looked up, it's like rewiring your brain so that certain events don't trigger you as much, and you're able to move forward and live a much happier life.
Yeah. I think when it comes to like traumatic experiences, we can, like, something that happened 10 years ago can feel like it just happened when it comes to trauma. And I think that when it comes to EMDR therapy, the goal is for you to review those situations and kind of compartmentalize that situation for what it was in that time. And like, obviously you're never going to forget those things, but let's say you have all of your thoughts, let's say just on the floor, like as sheets of paper, right? You have all your thoughts on the floor, just messy and paper all over the place. Those are your random thoughts. And you have your trauma that's just always kind of baked into the papers. You're constantly looking at your trauma mixed in with some good, some bad, some average. But I feel like when it comes to therapy and EMDR therapy, what they're trying to do is say, you know what, let's pick up all of your papers. Let's pick up all of your thoughts. And we have this nice dresser that we've purchased for you. And we want you to put all your good thoughts over here. We want you to put all your traumatic thoughts over here. We want you to put all your average thoughts over here. And we want you to review them so that you know what happened, you know when it happened, and you accept it.
And you kind of like ground yourself from there, so it doesn't seem like, like it's not saying it's going to go away. It's kind of like similar to grief. You know what I mean? Like you just learn how to live with it in a better way.
But I think it's also important that once you put those traumatic thoughts into that drawer, you have the ability to close that drawer whenever you want. And now you're no longer giving those thoughts power over you. But if those thoughts are always just abundant and around you, just like how the papers are always spread out on the floor, then those traumatic experiences can control how you operate more than what you would like. Right?
Because I will say for me, I felt like a lot of situations that I've been through, I thought a lot of it kind of, I thought I dealt with it per se. You know what I mean? I thought I was past it. And what I noticed was after I had Mari, when I started dealing with really bad postpartum depression, it started resurfacing. Things that I thought I forgot, or really things that I even forgot about, started coming back up. So I feel like for me, I've just been looking into therapy because I think that's something I want to work on. I want to be the best version of myself for my husband, for my kids. And I know that it starts with me and getting the help that I need.
And I support you in that. And I think that it's great that it's being normalized, that, you don't have to be like on the verge of doing anything crazy to get therapy. Help. It's just, having the conversation, being able to master your own mind. And there's some things that as a husband, I can't do. And, maybe one day I'll be able to, who knows? But I understand that we all have certain things that we can bring to the table, some things that ultimately are just beyond us. So just like when it comes to postpartum, I can always be there for you. I can support you. I can do the best I can, but I'm not perfect. And I know that you're still going to struggle because although we're on the same team, I can't do it all, just like how you can't do it all. So,
and then to be honest, obviously postpartum, men can have postpartum depression too, but you physically didn't have the changes and the hormone drop-offs that come with it. So like you said, there's some stuff that you can do your best to help and understand, but like you're not going to understand everything. But that's where we have to give our partners grace. You know what I mean?
And also too, teaching your kids to be good kids. Don't bully kids. Do your best to teach them how to, and it's crazy because when I grew up, I naturally treated people who were less capable just better. And it's because in my heart, I wanted that person to experience a good person.
I think the thing though, I mean, it's not shocking because I feel like everybody doesn't parent their kids. But for me growing up, like, for example, bullying, like how often that happens, even now I can only imagine the kids in school.
Yeah. And the thing
Parent
is,
y'all kids.
but at the same time too, kids are going to make mistakes. But I think that we have to do something, because in this day and age of the internet, like things that would happen 25 years ago versus what could happen today.
And I feel like maybe when I was in like middle school, that's kind of like when the internet was starting to
Yeah.
I feel like we're so much more, I guess, advanced with the internet now. But I definitely think when I was in middle school, around the time where when did Instagram start?
I don't know.
I want to say Instagram and all of them platforms. I feel like I remember it from middle school. So I'm just associating it with that time period. But, like you said, the internet has changed a lot and it continues to change every day.
Like I can only imagine like what kids going through in this day and age with the internet being what it is, and how your life at a very young age could just be destroyed because somebody wanted to be evil. And that one person is also a child. They don't know what they're doing.
And sometimes it's adults they'll be bullying kids nowadays, like you hear about on Roblox or Snapchat, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
I don't have any patience for bullying. I don't have any patience for that. I think you know how I am about things. And if I ever found out that my kids was being bullied, one, their parents are going to have to see me. But two, I don't want to be in that situation.
I feel like as somebody who was bullied, my patience would be very thin if I found out that was happening to my child.
I'd be ready. Like, where the other parents at?
Immediately.
When you understand where life can take you, like the darkest places, the most peaceful places, I'm willing to go to the darkest places if I know that my kids will be able to stay in a peaceful place.
I agree.
So I will do anything and everything to make sure that they're safe, just like you. And what sucks is that I wasn't there to protect you as a kid because we didn't know each other. But that's why we have kids, and they're going to be good.
Yeah, so. I feel like definitely, as someone who has dealt with like bullying, I feel like I know how to be there for my kid, and try my best to prevent it from happening to them. I know I can't control everything because I'm not going to be everywhere that they are, like when they're at school and stuff like that. But, just making sure I have these talks with them and,
making sure that they treat other kids well also. And, yeah. Anyway, I didn't want this to get too deep, but whenever I start talking about kids and people, like,
I just feel like a certain fume in me gets lit. You know what I mean?
There's an innocence tied to kids that I want to preserve. I want them to be able to experience their childhood without evil. And since evil exists, we have to actively work to destroy it, because our kids are who we're fighting for every single day. And I will step in, like literally in front of bullets for anybody's child who's facing evil. That's just, I feel like that's what I must do.
I think too, like the thing that, like you said, when we think about kids, we think about innocence being associated with them, and just thinking about some of the things that I even maybe have went through and how young, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just like, okay, where are they learning this from? Like, where are they seeing these things? How do they know? You know what I mean? Like,
that's why too, like whenever we meet fans or supporters, like if they're obviously like in high school, like I don't try to be rude, but I don't really like to, like, one, I'm not taking pictures with minors. With minors. No. Like, where's your parents at?
If your parents stand in the photo, we could take a picture.
If your parents in the photo, because I just really want kids to be kids. And it's like, although our content can lean more adult depending on, what you're looking at, right? Because I would say our stuff is like PG-13. It's like anybody could watch it, but if you're 13 years old, then you can pick up on some of the undertones of what a marriage looks like in reality. But we're not doing stuff that's like out there. You know what I mean? But I don't even like to have that. Like, I'd rather if a child came up and was like, "Oh my God, it's X and A," I smile at them. I say, "Hey, how's it going?" And I appreciate the support, and I'm on my way, because you don't need an interaction from an adult. Like, stay a kid. You know what I mean? Like, you can watch us online and whatever. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that kids are able to be kids. So, let's get off this. Thank you guys so much for watching the Excellent Podcast. I know this one got a bit deep. We'll try to keep it more lighthearted in the next one.
I don't know. I kind of like the deep conversations, though.
You like it?
Just a little bit.
We have deep conversations on our own, so now they get a little bit of insight to what we talk about and how we vibe.
I'm actually shocked that the kids stayed asleep the whole time we did this.
I'm glad, too. So
it's funny because I feel like we always tell ourselves we have to do the podcast during the day because at night we just simply don't be in the mood. It'd be a lot going on, or we'd be ready to go to bed. Because
it take a lot of conviction. It takes a lot of willpower to say, you know what, the kids are asleep. We're gonna go do the podcast.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you. You said that, and I was laying in the bed, and I was like, "Let me get up."
Because I said that, and you was cheeked up laying in the bed, God. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could lay down too.
Go start my little workout.
Yeah. Anyway, y'all, thank you guys so much for watching X and A. We out.
We out.
Peace.